Nikhil to Daquan. Daquan looking past the top. He throws to Richard, a wide open three, and he got it. Starting off hot for Richard Fernandez. Here's St. Joe's now going the other way. 13. We have Joey passes off. St. Joe's swinging the ball around. We have a screen from Joey, and it's a legal screen. It's going to go St. John's prep ball. Joey tries to get it away with a screen. Ref saw that one. Nifanos will check in the ball. Daquan taking it down court. Daquan to Neef. Neef to Nikhil. Back to Daquan. Trying to make something happen. Daquan throws it up to Jan. And he's foul going up. That is not going to be a shooting foul. Nifanos will check in the ball for St. John's. There's a little bit of confusion on the court for St. Joe's. Here's Neef. Jan to Richard. Richard setting up. He has Daquan. Jan comes up for the screen. Richard's going to drive out to Nifanos for the shot. And in and out. Jan with the rebound back up. Does not have it. It is passed by St. Joe's. Neef hits it out. It's going to stay St. Joseph's ball. Jack Boyle will check in. Passes out to John. Nifanos locking up John right now. All over him. He steals it. And they're going to call in a reach in.
That was 10 seconds of foul.
As Nifanos tries to get away with a steal, ref calls it. Reach in. Here's John, excuse me. John passes off. Back to John, top of the key. He's looking around. He's going to drive. And cannot come down. Oh, put back for St. Joe's. Jack Boyle with the putback. First points for St. Joe's as Richard now takes it out court. Passes to Daquan. Daquan looking. He's going to drive. Puts it to Jan, and he has it. Great playmaking there by Daquan. Here's going the other way. Luca with the ball for St. Joe's. Passes across. Risky pass right there. He has 15 in the corner. Back to Luca. Luca passes off. Here's John. John in the corner. In and out for St. Joe's. Luca with the putback cannot get it. Nikhil will have the rebound. Passes off to Daquan. He cannot save it. Just throws it away right there. As St. Joe's will now check it in. Here's John with the ball. He's going to go down. Up, and he got it. Good move there by John. Easy two for him. We have Daquan now taking his time. Top of the key, he will give it to Nikhil. Nikhil to Neef. Neef that has Daquan in the corner. Daquan will put a floater and air balls. Here's Luca now taking it down court for St. Joseph. After the board, Luca passes off to Jack. Jack goes up, and he has it. That gives St. Joseph's the lead 6-5. As St. John's has gone a little cold since the first 2 points for them. Here's Nikhil to Nifanos. Neef to Daquan. To Nikhil. To Richard with the shot. And he got it. Richard 2 for 2 from the three. Here's John now for St. Joe's. There will be a shot up and missed by Nicholas. As Daquan gets the board, he will go. He'll drive. Oh, stops for the three. And hits the front of the rim, will not go. As John now passes. Good move, and he misses it. He cannot come down. Another miss. Cannot get the put up. Jan with the rebound, passes to Neef. Neef going with a rebound. And one, he got it. Great move there by Neefinos. For the and one call, he's going to try and get a 3-point play. As St. Joseph has 2 open putbacks on that last offensive drive, and they could not convert for the easy 2, as Neefinos takes advantage of that. We'll try to convert for a 3-point play. And he got it. Here's John now, taking it down court for St. Joe's. John passes up to Luca. Luca driving. He will stop, back to John. John looking around. He's in trouble. Richard locking him up. John's going to drive. Puts it up and cannot have it. As Nikhil with the great board. Off to Daquan, taking it down court. Richard in the corner. In and out. As St. Joe's will go the other way. Jack passes. Here's Nicholas. Cannot have it. And here's Nikhil with another rebound. Back-to-back rebounds for Nikhil as Daquan now has it. Passes to Nikhil. And he's blocked. It'll be called a jump ball. St. John's ball still. There's good defense there from St. Joe's. Neef will check in the ball for St. John's. Neef has Richard in the corner, and he drains it again. Richard with an electric start for St. John's. 3 for 4 from the 3-point line. He is on. I have not seen that much from the last 2 games for St. John's, but he is on tonight as he gets a steal. Richard's going to take it down court. Passes out. And he turns it over. Neefinos, can he stay with it? No. St. Joe's, excuse me, to Jack. Jack. There's a shot and a drain 3 for Nicholas. As St. Joe's will take a timeout there. 14-9, St. John's has the lead. As both teams will discuss how they can stay in this game. As, like I said earlier, this is a very electric game. A rematch of last year's chip game, which was very close. St. John's ended up coming up on top. 2 different teams now, though, so it could be a completely different game. As both teams now are breaking the huddle, and we're going to get back into this game. Nikhil will check it in for St. John's. St. Joe's pressing up a little. Not much aggression, though. As Richard goes back to Daquan and Neefinos. Neef back to Daquan. Daquan and Nikhil. Back to Daquan. St. John's trying to figure something out. We're seeing good defense from St. Joe's right now. They've gotten into a zone. As Chase back to Neef, back to Daquan. Swings it to Richard for the open shot in the corner. And he got it again. Richard absolutely on fire right now. St. Joe's has not figured him out yet. As Joey will pass to Nicholas. And it's stolen by Richard. Richard's putting up for Chase. And he got it. Great playmaking there by Richard. As St. Joe's is trying to move it fast. And it's taken away again. Pushed out. Looks like it's going to be St. John's ball. Richard with back-to-back steals and back-to-back threes for St. John's. Absolutely on his game right now. Daquan now taking it down court off to Nikhil. Nikhil's going to drive and put it up, and he got it. Great layup there by Nikhil over some good St. Joseph defense. Nicholas now passes off to Matthew. Matthew to Joey. John, excuse me. John off to Colin. Colin is taken by Neef. Neef will go to Richard. Richard will go up with a Euro, and he cannot finish. Nikhil with the putback, and he has it. St. John's absolutely on top of their game right now. 23-9 lead. As they're applying great defense. It is stolen once again. Daquan now with the easy lay. As he goes down hard. He looks all right. And that will be the end of our first half. 25-9, St. John's with the lead. So far, we're seeing electric defense from St. John's. Great offense as well. Richard on fire right now. 4 threes in the first half. And a couple of steals. Nikhil with great rebounds out there. As St. Joe's looks like they're struggling a little bit to keep up with this St. John's team. As we will be back after this short break. And we are back with the start of the second half. St. Joe's will start with possession. As Nicholas will check in. Off to John. John passes off to Joey. Joey to the top, back to Joe. Oh, no, John now. In the corner, he's going to drive, and he's fouled. It's going to be a looks like on. That's going to go on Nikhil right there. And not a shooting foul. St. Joe's will check it in. Colin with the check-in. He's going to go out to Joe. Joe top of the key. Passes off to Joey. Joey's going to drive it. We have a double dribble. Joey carried the ball a little too long on that one. Turns it over to St. John's. As Daquan takes it down court. Joe applying pressure on him. Daquan tries to lose him. Screened by Chase. Daquan's going to pass out to Nikhil. Great pass. He hesitates. Goes up. Does not have it. The putback. Does not have it again. As St. Joe's John will come down with the board. Oh! And we have a reach-in on Richard. Little questionable there. But he did get a little of the arm. As we can see, St. John's applying a lot of defense right now. Full court press. Here's Nifanos. Nifanos guard. Oh, and it's taken away by Richard. And once again, he's going to go up, and he got it. Easy lay for Richard. What a game he's having so far. As here's Nicholas for St. Joe's. Passes off to John. Oh. It's going to be out on St. Joe's. Looks like that's going to go out on St. Joe's. Joey steps out. Chase is going to check in for St. John's. Richard to Daquan. They will take their time coming down court. Joe guarding Daquan once again, applying pressure. Lewis checks in the game for St. John's. As Daquan, great move right there. Almost comes down with and one. It's going to be a shooting foul. He will get his first 2 free throws of the game. And he got his first one. 28-9 is the score we have right now. St. John's absolutely dominating. They're looking incredible out there. Great teamwork, amazing defense. We're seeing a lot of steals from Richard in the second half and first half. And St. Joe's is going to have to find something to stop the St. John's team if they want a chance. Here's Joey. Passes off to Luca in the corner. Luca to Joe. Excuse me. Not Joe. Here's John. Put up. Does not have it. There's the rebound. Good rebound by Joey. It's going to be a foul. Looks like on Jan, maybe? Yes, foul on Jan. It's going to be a shooting foul for Joey as he will get 2 shots. And he drains the first one. As sophomore Khalil checks in for St. John's Prep. A stud that is, the second sophomore on the team after Nifanos. As he will take it down court. Passes off to Daquan. Jan with the screen. Daquan swings it to the corner. He will go up. Does not have it. Luca with the board. Luca taking it down court. He passes to Nicholas. Lucas will go up. He's fouled. No shot. He was fouled on the floor. It's going to be St. Joe's possession. No free throws there. As Jack will check the ball in for St. Joe's. He will pass out to Luca. Luca back to Jack. Jack to Nicholas. And the bucket is good. Good shot there from Nicholas. As it is 29-13 now. St. Joe's trying to get something going. Daquan taking his time. Jan comes to the top. Little confusion. He passes off to Jan. Back off to Lewis. Lewis to Richard. Jack applying a lot of pressure. Daquan to the top. Not much they can do. St. Joe's applying good pressure right here. Richard now. So he will shoot it. And he got it from downtown. Great range there from Richard. What a shot. He's on fire today. As Nicholas passes off. And it's blocked by Richard too. He will go away and it's stolen. Oh, the ball is going everywhere. It's kicked around. It's going to be St. John's ball. Richard on fire right now. 5 threes in this first half. He stole. Bad pass there. And he stole. No, he has it. Joey going up. Oh, my God. A lot going on there. Very chaotic. It's going to be a shooting foul. Nicholas with 2 shots. We saw a bad pass from St. John's stolen. Then St. Joe's almost lost it. Stays with it. And then a hard foul on that shot. Nicholas will have 2. Does not get the first. Eric checks into the game, a junior for St. John's Prep. Jan checks out. And the second one, he does have it. 32-14 now. St. John's with a comfortable lead. Stay Quan, take it down court again. Off to Nikhil. Nikhil to Richard. Richard to Daquan. He's going to drive with the passes out. Kalu with the ball. Passes to Daquan. Daquan now taking his time. Shot clock is 10. It's blocked, it looks like. Nikhil gets it. He'll go up. Fouled. And he's going to get 2. Here's Nikhil now at the line. Started for St. John's. Senior here. A great player, great talent. As he drains his first free throw. Second one up. It is not good. Hits the front of the rim. Eric applying pressure. It's going to be a reach-in. Good idea there, but he reached a little too far in. And it's go down as a foul. First foul of the day for Eric. A little confusion on the court. It's going to be seems like it's going to be free throws now for Jack. As I'm not too sure why. Jack with his first, and does not get it. Hits the front of the rim on that one. And it's back. He misses both of them now. Rips it out of his, and it goes, misses the put up. Rips it out of Richard's hands. Daquan now, as St. Joe's could have gotten away with the 2, but they missed the putback. Here's Daquan. Nifanos getting ready to check in for St. John's. Khalil out to Nikhil. Nikhil to Daquan. Daquan to Richard. Richard at the top. Jack applying pressure. Here's Khalil. Shot clock running down. He's going to have to put one up. And he got it. Great lay there by Khalil. Here's John for St. Joe's. Taking it down court off to Nicholas. Nicholas back to John. To Joe. Excuse me, Joey. It's going to be a travel, though. Using the elbow, it seems like it's a turnover. Foul. St. John's ball now. Daquan now with the ball off to Nikhil. Nikhil to Nifanos. They're swinging it around. Passes back to Daquan. Daquan will go for the mid-range. And he got it. Good shot there by Daquan. One of the best players in the league right now. One of the shiftiest players in the league. Not the tallest man, but he can get up there, I will tell you. He has one of the best verticals I've ever seen. As Nicholas with the shot in the corner, he drains it. Good shot there by Nicholas. 37-17 now. St. John's up by 20. And this is not the same St. Joe's team we saw last year in the championship. Last year, a very close game. It was back and forth the whole game. But, as Jack steals it away from Nifanos. St. Joe's applying a little pressure now. Jack, he'll go up. No, he doesn't. Passes out. Here's John. John now. Oh, excuse me, Matthew. To Nicholas. To Matthew for the shot. And he airballs it. Nifinos with the board. He will go to Nikhil. Nikhil's going to go up with the left. No foul there. But it is blocked. As Nifinos will check in the ball. Daquan now. Eric sets the screen. Daquan will give it to Eric. Eric with the board. Oh, goes up. And it's going to be a charge. Jack draws the charge on that one. Could have gone both ways, but I guess ref saw more on Eric than Jack. As St. Joe's will have the ball now. Chase checks in for Eric. And Nifinos checks in for Khalil. Here's John for St. Joe's. John is going to drive. Spin move. Passes out to Jack. Jack now to Nick. Back to John. Matthew now with the ball. Tipped. Nifinos now gets it. Up to Daquan. He's going to go with the lay. And he misses it. That is not something you see often from Soul Food. As now they will apply. Jump ball. It's going to go to St. John's. Great defense right there from St. John's. They see the ball's available. Just hold on to it. Get that jump ball called. That's exactly what we did right there. As Peter's checking into the game for Matthew. Here's Nifinos. To Chase, to Nikhil. Nikhil, oh, it's tipped out. It's going to stay St. John's ball as Nicholas gets a hand on that one. Here's Daquan with the ball. Under a minute now to go in the second half. Second quarter, excuse me. Chase. He's going to pull up a mid-range. Just throws it up. Not the best shot selection there, and a foul. And it's going to go to the line. Nicholas. As Chase not with the wisest shot selection there. And Nicholas gets fouled. He will have 2 at the line. Try and cut this lead down to under 20. Gets the first one. Second. And he got both of them. 37 to 19. Daquan now moving fast. He's going to go up off the side of the backboard. St. John's looks like they're rushing it a little too much as Jack. Daquan tips it away. We have a lot of chaos on the court right now as Daquan goes fast down court off the side of the backboard. Jack with the rebound, and he went. Just lost control. Daquan tips it away. It's going to stay St. Joe's ball, though. Jack will check it in. Jack now to John. Back to Jack. Swings it to Nick. Nick to Nicholas in the corner. And he got it. Nicholas with another 3. He is on today. As now it's 37 to 22. St. Joe's starting to heat up. Daquan's going to take their time. And they're going to run this clock down. Get one last shot. Nikhil to Neef. Neef back to Daquan. Daquan cross. He's gonna, and he's fouled. Daquan is fouled on that one. It is not a shooting foul though. So 1.5 seconds left. As we get a timeout now, called by Coach Kiggins. 1.5 seconds left, 37 to 22. St. John's is up. We'll be back in a second. Nifanos will check in now. He will give it to Eric. Puts it up at the buzzer, and he's fouled on the shot. It's going to be 2 shots for Eric.
It was only a second. No way.
St. Joe's parents are not too happy right now.
It was 1 second.
Eric did seem to get the shot off before the buzzer. Refs discussing it over. And they are going to give the free throws to Eric. Not a smart foul from St. Joe's there. So there's 0.7 left on the clock. St. Joe's coaches are arguing that the buzzer went off. I'm not too sure. It seemed like he got the shot off. As Eric in and out. St. Joe's coach is losing his mind right now as Eric does not get the second, and that will be it. That is the end of our first half. 37-22, St. John's maintaining a good lead right here. St. Joe's is going to have to try and find something to cut this lead down, find some momentum or something, because St. John's is on fire right now. Richard Fernandez draining all of his threes. And we will be back after halftime. I would like to take a second to give a shout out to our sponsors of today. We have Victory Cars, located in Long Island. If you are in the market for a car right now, Victory is the place to go. And Forno Siciliano, the pizzeria, one of the best slices of pizza I've ever had. If you have not heard, you should take a trip down right now, after this game, of course. And thank you to our sponsors, and we will be right back. And we are back in the second half. St. Joe's starts with the ball. Here's Joey. And he's fouled. Reaching by Daquan. Early foul there for Daquan. Not ideal for St. John's as they got into a little bit of foul trouble last quarter. As Jack will check it in. Double covered on John. Back to Jack. Jack in the corner to Luca with the open three. Does not have it. Jack with the board. Jack will go up. Does not have it again. Another rebound by Jack. Kicks out to Nicholas. Does not have it. Richard with the rebound. St. Joe's with a lot of opportunities to score there. Did not come down with it. Nifanos. Off to Nikhil. Nikhil to Daquan. Daquan with a Euro. Puts it up. Great move there. No defense from St. Joseph as Luca now takes it in the corner, double covered. Off to John. John to Jack with the three. He airballs it. It'll be St. John's ball. A little bit of confusion there from St. Joe's. Putting up some shots they have not been able to make yet this game as Nikhil with the ball to Richard. Richard has been on fire all game. Daquan now. Resetting. Jan comes up. He will set a screen. Daquan swings it to Richard. Richard with the long three. Foul and one! What a shot from Richard. And he has an opportunity for a 4-point play. Richard is having a game right now, to say the least. Richard to make a 4-point play. He has it. Outstanding performance from Richard so far. Nifanos locking up John. All over him. Passes to Luca. He will go up. And he has it. Good lay by Luca. Oh, excuse me, Nicholas. Daquan up to Jan. Jan cannot stay with it. It's going to be off of St. Joe's. It will stay St. John's ball. As Joey checks in for Nick. Neef to Daquan. Daquan will drive, swings it to Nikhil, cannot hold on to it. He will go up, air balls. And it will be Joey going down to Nicholas with the easy lay. Back-to-back lays for Nicholas. St. Joe's picking up. Great pass there, and Nikhil cannot come down with it. He tries to steal it. He does get the steal. Nikhil is getting all over him. It's going to be a travel on Nikhil. Almost a foul on St. Joe's there. As John will take it in for St. Joe's. John in the corner in some trouble. He's going to be fouled by Neef. Unneeded fouls from the St. John's right here. They have a comfortable lead. 43-26. John double covered. A lot of pressure applied. Here's Joey. And it's stolen by Daquan. Going the other way now. Fast break. Richard in the corner to Neef. Neef will put it up to Jan, and he cannot stay with it. We'll go the other way. St. Joe's ball. Jan just unable to hold on to it there. As Joey now. Lots of pressure. St. John's starting to double cover. Here's Jack now in the corner. He will go up, and it's blocked by Richard. Daquan resets, top of the key. Off to Neef. Jan, top of the Key now. Back to Daquan. Jan does not set a screen. Daquan off-handed tipped, but Neef stays with it. Neef will drive. Passes to Nikhil, wide open. And he got it. Knocking it down. St. John's knocking down their threes right now. As we got a timeout. Timeout St. Joe's, I'm pretty sure. As they will talk things over. St. John's with a 20-point lead right now. St. Joe's struggling to keep up with them. I've definitely noticed not the same St. Joe's team we saw last year in the chip. Last year's game was very, very close. It was going back and forth the whole game. St. John's was able to pull out for the championship. As both teams will start to break the huddle. 4 minutes and a little under 30 seconds left to play in this third quarter. St. Joe's still talking over. They need to find some momentum right here because St. John's has all of it. And it's going to be St. Joe's ball. Luca will check it in to John. John's taking it down. Passes off to Colin. Colin to Nicholas. Nicholas to Luca. To Colin. Back to Joey. Excuse me, John. Here's Colin now. To Luca. St. John's playing some great defense right here. It's stolen. Away. It's going to be a jump ball. It's going to be White's ball. St. John's ball. Great defense there from St. John's. Locking them down, giving no opportunity to score or take an open shot right there. And that's one thing about the St. John's team. Amazing defense. Stellar defense. Here's Daquan. Jan comes up, sets a screen. Daquan will kick it out. Oh, it's broken up. Here we go now. Fast break for Joey. Joey will go up. He loses it, and it's going to be out. St. John's ball. That is unfortunate for St. Joe's there. Joey could not hold on to it. Here's Nifanos. To Nikhil. Nikhil swings it back to Nifanos with the shot. And just hits the front of the rim. It's going to be a foul, defensive foul, going to, I believe, Joey on Jan, pushing him from the back. Neef will check it in. Neef to Nikhil. Cannot come down with the lay. And rebound by Joey. John. That's broken, stolen, no. Richard almost got away with it. We go now. Throwing it around. Nicholas with the three. Leaves it short. Daquan with the board. He has it. Going down court. Loses it. It's going to stay St. John's. A lot of loose balls this third quarter. Having a hard time staying with it. We got a sub for St. Joe's as Matthew will check in for John. Here's Neef. Gives it to Nikhil. Back to Neef in the corner for the 3, and he got it. Great shot there by Chef Neef, the sophomore coming from Greece. Here's Nicholas taking it down court for St. Joe's. Off to Peter. Peter to Matthew. Matthew, Daquan tries to go for it. Almost gets it, cannot hold on to it. It will be St. Joe's ball still. Colin checks it in for St. Joe's. Off to Nicholas. Nicholas now to Arne. Nicholas now. Shot mid-range in 1. Good shot there from Nicholas. Let's get the N1 call. He has a chance for a 3-point play. Nicholas having a great game right now. Has a couple of 3s, a couple of 2s. All around great player for St. Joe's. And he got it. Nice 3-point play there for Nicholas. As Neef will now take it down for St. John's. Chase comes up with the screen. Neef will go the other way, mid-range. And he got it. Nice shot from Neefinos. Neef starting to heat up this second quarter. As they double cover, throws it away. It'll be off of Peter. Khalil throws it off of Peter's leg. It'll be St. John's ball. Great defensive awareness right there from the sophomore. As Chase will give it to Neef now. Comes up for the screen. Neef drives. He will kick it back to Khalil with the shot. Off the front of the rim. Matthew with the board. Matthew will take it down. Double teamed, then it'll be a foul on Nikhil. Definitely a foul there. Throws himself into him. Colin checks it in for St. Joe's. Nicholas now. Double team. Colin now middle. Peter in the corner. Open shot. Does not have it. Nikhil with the good board. Richard is fouled, it seems like. Yes, Richard is fouled there. Khalil will check in for St. John's. Off to Chase. Chase to Nikhil. Out to Richard now. Man of the match so far. He will step back, throw up a 3, and he got it! He is on fire today. Straight from the DR. Chase and Neef apply pressure. Colin now passes to Arne. It will be broken up. Khalil cannot stay with it. It's going to be St. Joe's ball. St. John's almost gets another steal. Cannot hold on to it, though. As now Brendan will check in for Arne for St. Joe's. And Lewis coming into the game for Nikhil for St. John's. Colin to Nicholas. John at the Nicholas. Stolen away by Richard. Richard's going to go up. Easy lay for him. Another steal for Richard and another 2. Legacy game for him, one could say. John now trying to make something happen for St. Joe's. He will give it to Peter. Good board. Good playmaking there by St. Joe's. Something they need a little more of if they want to stay in this game, as we have about 20 seconds left in this third quarter. 56-31 St. John's. It seems like they will just run the clock out. Neefinos gives it to Chase. Chase to Richard. 9 seconds on the clock. Neef now. He will put it up to Lewis. Lewis goes up with the mid-range. In and out. And that will be the end of the third quarter. 56-31. St. John's with a 25-point lead. Something that I did not expect to see here today. As they are on top of everything. Steals, blocks. They are making their open shots. Richard Fernandez knocking down his threes. And St. Joe's is struggling to find anything right now. As we'll be back in the fourth quarter. Nicholas will check it in for St. Joe's. As we begin this fourth quarter, St. Joe's trailing by 25. It'll be very hard for them to make a comeback. Here's John. Passes off to Brendan. Brendan Nicholas stays with it. To Brendan. Luca with the shot. Off the front of the board. Eric with a nice board. Off to Lewis. Lewis. Oh. We'll slow it down. Gives it to Daquan. Here's Daquan now. Eric setting a screen. Daquan will go up. And he's fouled on the shot. He's going to get 2. Does not have the first one. Daquan having a notable game today, as he will not get his second one. Nicholas with the rebound off to John. Daquan, one of the higher scorers of today's game, along with Richard Fernandez, of course. Spin move by John. He will go up off the back of the rim. Good move there, but could not come down with it. Khalil now takes it down court for St. John's. He will swing it to Richard in the corner for the 3, and he got it. Richard does not miss today.
Nice pass.
Great pass there by Khalil. Richard knocks it down as St. Joe's struggling a little bit to hold on to the ball. John swings it. Eric steals it. Eric will give it to Lewis. Lewis gives it right to St. Joe's. Luca with the board and has it. Good attempt by Eric to block it. He got up there. Here's Khalil now, slowing it down for St. John's. Eric comes up with a screen. It'll be a legal screen on Eric, it seems like. It's a legal screen, I think. Yeah. Not the most ideal call for St. John's, but it does not matter too much as they have a 26-point lead. Here's St. Joe's trying to make something happen. John with a good move and good lay. Nice layup there by John. One of the better scores for St. Joe's, excuse me. As Daquan, top of the key now. Eric coming up for a screen. Off to Lewis in the corner. He will throw up a 3. And he got it. Nice shot from Lewis for the 3. Here's John. He's going to try to do something. He will drive. Pass it out to Peter in the corner. And he does not have it. Richard with the board. Richard dribbling through 2 people. He will give it off to Daquan now. Daquan will pull shot from the top of the key in and out. Nicholas with the rebound. Going the other way. to John. John's going to go up the middle, and it's foul on Eric. John will get 2 free throws. Now come down with the first. As we got a bunch of subs for St. Joe's. Jan checks in for Eric. And for St. Joe's, we have Joe checking in. We have Steven checking in. We got Anthony checking in for St. Joe's as John makes his second free throw. Here's Daquan. Gives it to Lewis. Lewis swings it to Richard. Richard to Daquan. Screen by Jan. Daquan with the mid-range. And just out. Almost came down with it. Here's Joe now to Nicholas for the 3. Does not have it. Good rebound by Joe. Nicholas with the easy 2. Here's Richard. Off to Daquan. Jan. Ooh. Good handles by Daquan as he gives it to Khalil. And he drains the 3. The sophomore. Stud. Called up from JV just a couple games ago. He's showing out for this team. As a steal by Richard. He's all over that. Khalil will go up in a hard foul. Richard with one of the best performances I have seen this year from him. As St. John's has a near 30-point lead. Khalil does not come down with the first. John will check out for St. Joe's. As Peter will check in. Khalil misses the second. Richard still applying a lot of pressure on Joe. Joe, it's going to be looks like a reaching. Little too much there by Richard. Not really needed as we have 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. 65-38, St. John's are up. As this is turning into a blowout. And St. John's putting a double team on Joe. A lot of pressure. Ooh. What did they? Not great ball movement there by St. Joe's. They had open shot. Richard now just standing in the bottom. He will go up for the easy 2. Richard Fernandez with more points. Here's Nicholas now. Passes to the corner. And the shot up. And a nice shot there for Steven. Here's Richard now for St. John's. Jan's coming up for a screen. He goes the other way for the 3. Oh my God! And he got it! Richard Fernandez. As he gives St. John's a 30-point lead. One of the best games I have ever seen him play. The junior from the Dominican Republic showing out for St. John's. As he will be subbed out and Caden will check in for St. John's. St. John's still applying pressure. And it's stolen away. It's just too easy for St. John's now. St. Joe having a lot of trouble right now getting the ball down court. Too many turnovers. Joe for St. Joe's gives it off. Passes out to Brendan. Mid-range. And he got it. Nice bucket for Anthony. Here's Caden now. First time checking into the game for St. John's. Jan sets a screen off to Neef. Neef to Lewis. Throws it back to Neef. Here's Khalil. Top of the key. Good move. Euros up. And one. He got it. The kid having a nice game today as he will try to have a 3-point play. As now we have 2 more subs for St. John's coming in. Amerson checking in for Young. Here's Khalil now for the 3-point play. And he got it. St. John's now with a 33-point lead. One of the biggest leads I've seen this season by them. As Peter passes off to Anthony. Anthony now. Oh, back to Brendan. Brendan to Joe. Joe's going to drive. And he loses. Oh, no, he has. Good shot there. Drained by Peter for St. John's. St. Joe's, excuse me. Caden in the corner for 3, and he airballs it. Not the best shot attempt there. Of course, it does not matter as this game is winding down. Another 3 put up. Does not have it. Rebound, St. Joe's. Put up again. Airballs. Another rebound for St. Joe's. They'll kick it out. Here's Brendan for a 3. And he does not have it. Front of the rim. We got subs now for St. John's. Eric Chance checking into the game for Lewis, and Dylan checking in for Khalil. Emerson. This is back to Emerson. Good look. Pass out for the 3. He's not. Cannot come down with it. Here's Brendan now. Throws it way down court, and it's a little too much. And it'll be another turnover by St. Joe's. They have not looked good this entire game. I mean, St. Joe's is having a hard time converting on the offense, as Caden will throw up a 3 and does not get it in front of the rim. Eric with the rebound. Eric. Whoa. And a travel by Eric. That is all right. As we have just reached the final minute of the 4th quarter, 30-point lead by St. John's, as this game is pretty much over. This is a 3-point shot thrown up off the rim by Peter. Dylan with the rebound. He's going down court. Dylan passes to Eric. Eric with the mid-range. And he got it! Eric Chen with the mid-ranger. Great bucket by Eric. As St. Joe's now. And he just throws it to Eric. And now they will take it. Dylan will take it to the corner right in front of Kiggs. And this will be the end of our game. What a performance from St. John's today. Richard Fernandez, player of the game by far. And this game is now over. St. John's Prep 77, St. Joe's 45. Not the game I thought I would have been in for today, as last year, like I've said before, was a very close game by these two teams. St. John's came out on top, barely, in the city championship. But today, St. John's comes out and blows St. Joe's out by 32 points. And I would like to thank you guys for listening and joining in on this Saturday afternoon. St. John's turns into 16-2. And this is James Miller checking out. Thank you, guys.